Okay, Karl, fixtures release day, it's always one of the highlights of the summer. What was your first reactions when they came out this morning?
Football's back. In some ways it was I think anybody, managers, players, fans, we all have that same level of excitement when the fixtures come out. Just because you're within the industry doesn't mean that you get less excited or more excited. I think you still revert back to being a young football fan, and you understand what it means to so many people, and to see the fixtures and to see us being home first game of the season back at the Valley was great. And then I walked in the building at about 8:30, 8:45, and to see Chris Parks' face light up when he was speaking to me about obviously playing Portsmouth at Hull on the 9th of December, and it's at obviously our point that is in relation to the first game back at the Valley. I think it was the 5th of December 1992. So to have that only 4 days apart, but a bit effectively on the same weekend is unique, and I think it's a very it's lucky in some ways, but it's one that I think we can all really enjoy. And we know Portsmouth to bring a good crowd down there. What was it there? Just in there 8,500 in '92. It'd be nice if we could get a right good crowd that day and really celebrate what the fans did. And that's what it's got to be about this year, about them people that support us, and bringing that bit of passion back, and bringing that unity back, and bringing hope and optimism. And a team that cares. I really feel now like I'm here. You've been around the training ground. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of internal things in the building, support development and decrease injury levels, and to the gym perspective and officers and everything else. And a lot. I feel like there's a real stamp, and I think you'd see that as well. There's a difference. So now we've got to perform. And when you look at the fixtures, I don't think anybody's got a hard or an easy start. I think everybody's is just as difficult. Like every team will be just as competitive. But we have to be ready as Charlton. I bet you a lot of teams were looking for when they were playing at the Valley. I used to, honestly, so it's what I'm sure every manager will be looking at today.
So every fan sort of always picks out maybe the first home game, Boxing Day, that sort of thing, last home game. Is that what you do? Is it before the fixtures come out? Do you have in your mind, right, these are the ones we're going to look out for, or even opponents that you might look out for? Just straight in there, doesn't matter. Obviously we're at home, the first game against Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, but then some people can look at fixed lists and get overexcited and lose. Fearful. Every game should have the same amount of detail and the same amount of effort applied to it. So it's got no relevance on who the badge, whatever colours you're playing against. It's got to be about the person inside our shirt. And that's got to be the mentality that our shirt is something to be feared, not other people's shirts. So whatever you want to put in front of us, put it in front of us. Because you're going to have to go a long way and dig a lot deeper to get anything out of us. And that's got to be our aim, and that's got to be the passion that we have to show.
Do you prefer to kick off at home with the first game, or again, is that something that doesn't really matter? You have to play the same amount of games anyway.
I think, yeah, it's nice, but if I wanted to play at home and we were away, does that mean I'd become disappointed? If I wanted to play away and we got at home, does that mean I'm disappointed or overexcited? And no, listen, it's just be nice to get in front. I just like being at the Valley. Can we play everyone there, please? That'd be nice. But it's. I just think it's one of them ones where we've got to play them all anyway. So.
The transfer activity is obviously well underway last week. Billy Clark was the first man through the door. Were you pleased to get that first one over the line?
Yeah, Billy's, some people said he's a striker. If he was a striker with that goal record, I wouldn't be overly happy. But he's somebody that plays deep. He creates opportunities. I think he made the most passes in the league into the opposition's box last season. He enters the box very well. Tariq is different. He's a bit of a wild card. Exciting. Not saying he's like Addy, but he plays with that freedom. He plays with that explosive mentality. He enjoys going past somebody. He enjoys getting shots off. He enjoys crossing it. He enjoys dribbling. He enjoys the bits that fans like. He's got to work harder. He has to develop. There's been, in no uncertain terms, he was told where he has to develop, and that's a good one. And Mark, I thought Bradford last year were excellent, and him to get Player of the Year in a team that was very, very competitive, and got to the playoff final. Shows you a bit of an intent. I think over years with the recruitment policy, past the 6 centre-backs, 6 midfield players, 4 or 5 strikers, 1 winger, 2 wingers maybe, no number 10. We've sort of loaded on certain areas, and what I want is 2 number 2s, 2 3s, 4 to 5 centre-backs, 2 midfield players as a 6, 2 8s, 2 10s, 2 7s, 2 11s, 3 9s. And I think that has got to be a recruitment model that if I'm using Chris Solly as an example. Chris Solly gets injured, do the right back, he comes in and we win the game. You lose a Ricky and you can bring in whoever. You lose a Billy Clark and you can bring in another number 10. You can lose your left back and have another one ready. One centre back gets suspended, the next one's just as good. And we've got to have that to be competitive. We can't rely on... I had games last year where Ricky was the only fit winger we had. So we had to play a diamond, which doesn't work for us. And not until I got Souls back and Nathan could go to right wing, and then Ricky could play on the left, and we had a number 10, then we become more effective. So the recruitment is not finished.
With all that in mind, what's next on your agenda? Is that something you can share, or there's still work to be done, isn't there?
And a 10. We obviously need a left back. Maybe a right back. And goalkeeper. So, and then if he goes, we get him. And that's Stephen's job to make sure if I lose him, we have him. If we lose him, you've got him. And that changeover makes you better, not weaker. So these are things that you've got to be proactive with. The board and people have supported that. I went over and we had a chat with the people over in Belgium about what we have to do. If I want to put my neck on the line, I want to be successful, I have to get what I want to get. And we've got to make people happy. And we have to... Do you know what? I come in this place, everything's different. The training ground starts, the diggers around this place, more diggers than players. Just really cutting pitches up, making new pitches, starting on this building, starting on that building. The 2 new astroturfs at the back, the astroturf that was sat on here was phase 1 obviously. Phase 2 start, phase 3 start, and phase 4 won't be far away. So all these phases are actually starting. And all the talk, I'm not one, even though I talk a lot, I don't like people saying this and saying that. Do it. And I'm seeing a change. So I can tell I'm excited. I've not done one of these for 4 weeks, so I'm excited. Got a lot to talk about.
Obviously we tied down Jason Pearce to a new contract as well. That seems just as good as any other business really you can do in a transfer window.
But we have to tie down 1 or 2 months more.
How important will Jason be to this?
He's a top man, and we were speaking in the summer. Listen, it was done before he went away, obviously. Something I was sure about anyway. But we've got to tie down 1 or 2 others before I can sleep.
We're obviously now 5 days shy of pre-season training really getting underway again, but players have reported back for a couple of days over the last few weeks. How did that go? Everyone reporting back in good shape?
Yeah, I wasn't here, Josh was here, and he was sending me the results, and everybody's under the weight that we said, and some of them are less than when they left. Some people are completing further distances on the running tests. So, and nobody's above what we said. So we can start properly. It was compulsory. So we it was important. And I've seen 1 or 2 things that will help as the season starts.
When it gets underway next week, what can the players expect? It can always be a bit rigorous, can't it, that first week with all the running and especially this weather?
Great. It's perfect. We moan in England when it's too cold, when it's too hot we also moan up. Listen, the first game of the season could be 30 degrees at home to Bristol Rovers. So, it could also be raining in this country, you never know. But the weather's got no relevance on it. The players know it's going to be hard, they know how hard they're going to have to work. And we've got to make sure that they're ready to go.
We're obviously not far off till we go to Ireland, with the 3 games out there and a week of training. How important is that trip going to be? Obviously not just for the football and being out there on the pitch, but as far as the group go, bonding and being together.
Yeah, obviously it's important, but it's not going to be. It's about us training, about us getting together, and if somebody's lagging behind, getting him over the line, dragging him over the line. That's what you're going to need as a team. And what you see in pre-season, you'll have the players, the Ricky Holmes as well, who will cruise the running. But it's about then Ricky Holmes helping somebody who's not as good. It's about Scholes getting, say, helping Aaron Barnes to come to his level. It's about Josh McGuinness pushing Lee and Nicky and Tony, and it's about Mark Marshall pushing Billy Clark. So it's about you dragging people with you, and them who are being dragged equally pushing the ones who are ahead of them. So and that competitive group in training leads to a competitive team at the weekends. So it's important, and I'm so excited. I really am looking forward to it. The staff are looking forward to it. Yeah.
And just finally, we've learned that Ahmed Kashi is going to be back with us this summer. News that excited the fans, looking on social media and all that sort of thing. Obviously, you haven't had much of a chance to see him on the pitch, but what are you expecting from him? I'm assuming he'll have to be eased back into things somewhat.
Somebody who, in the games I've seen of him, amazing energy, gets around the pitch in a very aggressive nature, unbelievable interceptions, and tremendous array of passing ability. If he's fit, and he's ready to go. He said he wants to be at Charlton this year. He's got his house in London. I think he comes in the back end of this week, and he's back with us on Monday. And what I've heard, his English is improved, and his family and him are looking forward to get back into the capital. So it's all in all, it's great. He's fit. He's not been pushed yet, so we can't get overexcited. But I'm sure after the first 2 or 3 weeks, I'll know where he is, and we're looking forward to seeing him playing some of the games in Ireland.